Welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Vinny Eastwood Show on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. We'd like to take things very, very cool and very slick and very happy, kind of like an island in the sun called New Zealand. Stop by, have a cocktail, have a conversation. That's the format. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope my guest, Mike Harris, has enjoyed it thus far. How have you, Mike?
Well, Vinny, I think you've got a great show. I like your format. I like your way of going, so to speak.
I do it too. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, well, that's obvious. We're not doing this for the money, right?
Well, in fact, it's funny you should say that, because I was thinking about it over the break. That you actually once upon a time had some wealth and standing, and the month of work that the last month of official work that I did, I think I got paid maybe $5,000 and plus a bonus of $11,900 worth of mall shopping vouchers, kind of thing, for a 45-day promotional period that I fulfilled. And I was just thinking about this. My income has dropped significantly, so it's all very well for somebody who hasn't got any money to begin with to say, I'm not doing it for the money. But to have wealth and do something for free, you're playing on a different battlefield altogether, and in my opinion, gives you a lot more credibility.
Well, let me talk to you about that, because I'm glad you brought it up, because that is a nettlesome issue. I'm one of these guys who got caught by NAFTA and GATT. That's why I'm so irked about them, is that my entire industry that I was a specialist in, I was very, very good at what I did. There were probably maybe 3 other guys in all of North America who were as good as my job as what I did. I worked in the semiconductor industry. There isn't a significant semiconductor industry in North America anymore. It's all been exported to China. And we in North America created this industry. We invented it, we created it, we developed it, it matured, and we turned around and gave the whole thing to China. And so I found myself in a position where I went from making, 6, sometimes 7 figures a year down to making, 5, and talk about taking a haircut. And there was a time in my life when I thought that I made the money I made because I was smart, I was aggressive, I was industrious, I worked hard, I was really a hard-working guy. I thought that was responsible for my success. That was contributors to my success. But the platform that all of that rested on was taken away when the semiconductor business was exported. And this was not a low-tech business. This is high-tech as it gets. And, they exported that to China too. So why did we do this? Why are we doing these things to shoot ourselves in the foot and give away our entire industrial base? As you and I said on one of the earlier breaks, the United States should be lucky if we knew how to make a hammer here anymore, because we've dismantled it, and it's hard to reconstruct those things once they're gone. But I believe in this country, and I think that we can do it. I think that we can bring industry back here. And there's good news in this too. The good news is that all of the legacy business is gone, so that we can start with new state-of-the-art and really create new innovative industrial systems in this country. And when we do have our renaissance, which I believe we will, it's going to be stellar. Watch out. China better watch out, because we're going to be breathing fire down their neck.
Is that something you would prefer to see? Is look at it like this. It's so much easier to destroy something than it is to build it, right? And it's been destroyed, so it must take a long time, I would feel, and a lot of input in order to rebuild America to its aforementioned former glory, don't you think?
Well, first of all, I don't think we can get our former glory. I think there will be a new glory for us, and it's going to take a different form, a different shape. But I'm a builder. That's what I do. I create businesses. I've started probably 7 businesses in my life, and 4 of them were extremely successful, and one of them was an unmitigated failure. But that's what makes it human. You don't know what it's like to win until you've had to lose. And I believe in this country. I believe in our people. I believe that we have the most industrious people in the world. But I think there's some fundamental policies we need to change, and we need to stop babying. We need to stop trying for equal results. We need to allow those who have capabilities to achieve the highest they can based on the merit, based on
There
what
are
they're
10 minutes
capable of doing.
remaining in this conference.
Okay, I
What?
just heard
I
that.
don't know what the heck that was from. We do not do that on American Freedom Radio, I can assure you. That sounds like a Blog Talk Radio thing.
Well, anyway, I think that our best days are ahead of us, but we've got to take care of some housekeeping items now. We need a regime change in this country. We've got a criminal cabal that is running the show. There's probably 10 or 12,000 people in this country right now that if they were removed or expelled from the country somehow, this country would take off again like a wildfire, because
Can I ask
we've
you,
got some yeah.
in the US court system, once you're indicted for a crime, are you able to be, let's say you're in an official position, that you're a judge and you're indicted, obviously you can't keep doing your job. You'll have a stand down period or an indefinite suspension until the investigation is carried out. So in essence, what I was just thinking now is, what if these people, these 10 or 12,000 that you said, were indicted simultaneously, and all of their officers went on suspension and would have to have interim or replacement guys put into those positions? Whilst the investigation is, once the results of the investigation come out, if they get proven to be corrupt, they go to jail. If they've been proven to do nothing wrong, then they go straight back to their position and replace their steward, as it were.
Well, at the risk of creating sounding treasonous or sedition, I think we need to develop a parallel government that operates independently of what our government that's in place now does, but operates under original organic constitutional law and under the common law of the U.S. And I think we need to take authority from the people and go out and hunt these criminals down, hunt them down like dogs in the street, and hang them if we need to, because we've got people who have damaged this country irreparably, and they need to be brought to task on it. And it's time. And nothing would make me happier than to see some of these criminals hung in the Washington Mall on a Sunday at noon, just televised for the whole nation to see, to show them how we treat these criminals. By the other hand, we need to show some leniency to some of the lesser people who've got goods on them, who can indict these people, who can help us with the prosecutions. I don't want the small fish. I want the big fish. I want the masterminds behind this. I want the really corrupt SOBs out there who've taken this country and really brought us down. And one thing that could happen, if either candidate, Obama or Romney, wanted to assure victory in this election, they could do one thing, and that would be to promise and begin an investigation of what really happened on 9/11. Because until we solve that, and until these people are brought to justice, there will be no justice, and this will not improve. But if Obama gets in trouble in this election, I think he might. Romney looked pretty good last night. But I know Romney is corrupt. I know he's a crook. And if Obama really wanted to win this thing, all he would have to do was commit and take the preliminary actions to begin a true, honest investigation, free of outside influence, find out what really happened at 9/11, and bring those perpetrators to justice.
And I found that these commissions, like the 9/11 Commission, the people that they put to head them are usually the most corrupt people who've shown that they can be trusted to be corrupt. Like the Warrant Commission was headed by Alan Dulles. And just a New Zealand thing here. Have you heard about the arrest of Kim.com, the alleged massive hacking pirate guy? Well, guess who's now going to be in charge of the investigation into his ordeal, which is shown to be New Zealand intelligence services going up. The same guy who's doing the investigation into this big toxic oil spill last year called the Rena that happened off the coast of New Zealand, our worst maritime disaster in history, where they started spraying Corexit instantly and took their sweet fracking time cleaning that puppy up. So, it's the same system everywhere.
Well, you know what the way around that is you buy random. You draw people out of the phone book, for Christ's sakes, to sit on the commission, because I don't care who the person is. They've got a brain. They're able to use it. And if the evidence is presented convincingly, pick them at random. I mean, like they do jury duty. Pick one person from every state. Get 50 people in a room and say, look, here's the evidence. This is how it's going to be presented, and let the prosecution present it, and let the chips fall where they may. And if these people are found guilty, we take them out and hang them.
This is what should be done, because that sounds like justice. If you are orchestrating murders, if you're orchestrating huge drug shipments, if you are orchestrating the destruction of the economy, and if you are planning to exterminate mankind, it seems only right and just that you be caught, tried by a free jury with no influence standing over them, be found guilty of your crimes based on the evidence alone, and receive your punishment. That seems like justice to me.
I couldn't agree more. And if we have to pick them out of the phone book or out of the jury duty pool, that's where we pick them from. But we get intelligent American people who are honest and can't be influenced, and let them make the decision as to what really happened. You can put together a report. Let us know.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Mike, and you can check out more of Mike's work on republicbroadcasting.org and at Veterans Today. And we'll have the links up at the VinnyEastwoodShow.com archives. Thank you very much, Mike, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening in. And we will see you again sometime, assuredly.
Well, Vinny, thank you so much for having me, and it's my pleasure. I'll invite you on my show next time.
All right. Thanks, mate.
Thanks. Bye-bye.